Hi everybody, this is Karak with Angry Centaur Gaming. I brought this issue up a couple days ago in the Patreon video, and I figured I'm going to do a video about it now. I just released a review, and I woke up this morning and I started reading some reviews for a particular game, and it started to piss me off so much I figured I'm just going to do a video here real short. First of all, I got to say thank you to all the patrons, and if you haven't been able to donate but you're interested, feel free to go to the Patreon website and check it out and see if you can help us out and help continue the revolution that it seems like ACG is creating. Now, what is this video? Plain and simple, this video is going to be about Witcher 3 reviews and just the sheer absolute problems I see with it. Many people are not going to see what I see. Many people are not going to find a problem with these reviews, and I completely, absolutely support them. This is my opinion, and this is what I'm driving forward in the industry. So if you don't agree with me, totally fine. Makes total sense. Not everybody's going to agree, but these are the issues I see. What's my problem with the Witcher 3 reviews? Well, first of all, the fact that of all the reviews I saw, only 3 adequately in any way, shape, or form really gave the game its merit when it came to the depth of play that was within the game and didn't do 1.2 pages to cover a game that goes anywhere from 60 to 200 hours. To me, it was ridiculous to see written form reviews with 1.2 pages to cover a game that was that big. It's absolutely insane. It boggles my mind anybody thought that was acceptable. It doesn't matter if you're Shakespeare, you did not adequately review that game. There's too much within the game to review and too much information that a gamer would want from your review. It's completely unacceptable. Now, does that mean all gamers are going to be unhappy with that review? No, but I also do believe that gamers are becoming accustomed to it, especially from written form reviews, and may not even notice what the issue is. So I'm going to describe what my issue personally with it is. First of all, I want to say how I review a game. I review a game in 2 ways. The first way is the game an accurate reflection of the genre? Does it bring the tropes that we expect? And maybe some new hotness here and there, that's totally fine as well, and that's expected. And then additionally, what did I enjoy about it? What was the fun factor of it? What was my emotional connection to the game? Those 2 things come together to allow me to review the game. Now, you can consider that this could be a part of the argument for are games art? Well, if they are art, no art is fucking reviewed with a bunch of bullet points. That's ridiculous. So if you're a person who fights that games are art, you better be looking at the reviews and you better be chastising those people who basically just list a bunch of shit. All of these reviews were save states. What do I mean by that? I mean, all they really were people played the game, they memorized a bit of the game or bits of the game, and they blurted it out. They blurted out what they did, but they didn't actually connect it with an overall narrative to explain Witcher 3. I found 3 reviews that did that. And those 3 reviews aren't even from places that I would consider go-to for reviews. They might be for others. They weren't small sites. One of them was a fairly large site. But the fact is, only 3 really adequately fed my desire to know what was going on within the game world. And I followed these. These are people that I would say, somewhat listen to what they're saying when it comes to a game. And even I had issues with almost all those reviews. Now, I get that it's brevity over depth. These written websites, they're trying to in some way recapture the YouTube and the Twitch streamer audience. But the fact is, you cannot do that with a written fucking review in the way that you're doing it. We saw the same thing happen in magazine reviews. In magazine reviews, as the internet really blew up, we started to see boxes all over the columns. You'd see the written page and then boxes all over pointing. It was almost already the multitasking idea was going on, but it was going on in written form. And now we seem to be at the same crux within the current way reviews are done, where reviewers are trying to figure out how to do it. So they're doing a written form and they're doing a video review as well, or they're doing a written form and they're doing an impressions video as well. Guys, that's a problem. That's a problem. That means that there is a problem giving the person information that they adequately require. Think about it. Should you have to watch 3 videos to understand? I'm not saying should you have to watch 3 videos to get and understand the deeper parts of a game. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying when you see, 5 preview videos and then a review video and then we're going to sit around and talk about it video, and all those are really telling you stuff that should be in the review. Is that not a problem with the review? Maybe, maybe not. I find that it is. I find that it is for very specific reasons. Those reasons being that a review should give a gamer enough data to adequately identify if the game's going to feed one of the two things that they require. Is it a genre, reflection, a good genre reflection? If it is, boom, they can get it. Or if it isn't such a good one, but it was really enjoyable to whatever reviewer they followed, they need to understand why. You can't just say it was fun. I've even fallen into this trap before where I haven't explained enough of why a game grabbed me. It needs to happen. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, not at all. I'm saying that as an industry, we have to move forward. As an industry, we have to look at this situation and realize a revolution within gaming has occurred. Think about it. It's a complete revolution, guys, from a couple years ago. We've had so many revolutions, online, mobile, all these things popping up, so many different platforms. It is a revolution. Don't let anybody tell you differently. But guess what? The one group that hasn't moved forward are reviewers. Think about it. That's the one group that hasn't understood how to adequately reflect the change and the revolution that's going on. The more you fight for gaming as art, the more you have to understand that your reviews have to change. The more you understand that you have to go out and you have to adequately mirror what you saw within the game and put it in a prose that somebody can easily understand and that is depthy enough that they get the information they need to make the choice. Because a lot of times people are simply making the choice because it's a reviewer that they've trusted in the past. But many times they don't even know really why they trust them. Well, they seem to like the games that I like. Why? Because once you understand the why, then you can understand such a deeper amount about games. There is a complete, unbelievable amount of information out there that when you start to understand the why of things, you start to understand gaming itself. Let me give you a little bit of a history there, and then I'll end this video. One of the greatest comics, it wasn't even a comic, it was a couple pictures I've ever seen, was in a Mad magazine. And it showed the Pyramid of Egypt. And it showed the pyramid, and then it showed a 3D view where there was sand, and then underneath it. And underneath the pyramid, you found that the pyramid was simply the very, very tippy top hat of a massive statue that went down, 200 miles. It was hilarious. And everybody was all happy about the pyramid itself, not realizing that what lied underneath it was the true treasure. That's games, guys. And until people understand the almost unbelievable amount of information that's out there about games and why a review is done a certain way and why somebody liked it, we won't be able to elevate the education level of gamers, and we certainly won't be able to elevate the discussion itself. The discussion needs to take a step forward. I'm not saying comedy skits, jokes, yelling at your webcam, all those things can't exist because they all have their place. And I'm not saying more brevity in reviews can't have their place. I myself have thought about a quick review kind of thing because there's an audience for that. But you need to name it that. You can't just say, this is my review, 1.2 pages to describe The Witcher. Because honestly, I could just give you the shortest response I can think of, which is, and that's the truth. That's not an acceptable review, no matter which way you slice it for that game. It's unacceptable. It should never be accepted, no matter what. And I expect gamers, especially here and now in the next couple months, in the next couple years, to really step forward and identify those reviewers who are moving forward and understanding that the revolution of gaming has already happened. We're in the middle of a massive revolution of all kinds, good and bad. And it's time. It is truly time for reviewers and writers and editors and everybody within the industry to sit up and say, oh shit, we need to step up our game. We need to understand how to give the real data to people. And we need to understand how we don't always have to make a video so that we have 10 videos for people to watch or 10 previews up to a game. It doesn't always have to be that way, guys. It can just be one video and still give people information. That's on you as a reviewer. That is your problem. That's not the gamer's problem. It is your problem. If you find yourself doing 15 to 20 previews for a game until you finally get to the review, that's you trying to grab some hits. And that's solidly not really very cool. to be honest. I hate that shit. But anyway, that's me. So if you like the video, if you understand what I'm talking about, if you want to talk about it more, feel free to post. If you dislike the video, you don't agree, you think that, all reviews are fine, if you have examples, you can feel free to post them. And again, I just want to make sure everybody understands, I'm not saying that some reviewers don't do excellent. I'm not saying that some reviewers don't do poorly. I'm not saying that there aren't diamonds in the rough. I'm not saying that everything's terrible, and I'm certainly not saying everything's good. What I am saying is that the industry as a whole needs to step up and solidify. And until it does, we are going to continue to have the splintering of the overall viewpoints of where the industry is and what's going on. And until that happens, the industry as a whole is going to be unhealthy. Anyway, that's it for me. Like I said, if you like the video, hit like. If you dislike it, hit dislike. And enjoy your weekend, because I'm going to be shooting some people with airsoft. Peace out.